Divo, how are you?
Hi.
Hello. Thank you, Alex.
Well, it's really nice to see you again. It was a year ago almost to the day when I first met you, and you were the new boys in town. Nobody really knew anything about you, and I just loved that first CD you did. Now, this is a test. Let's see if I can remember, because I've not been introduced. It's David, isn't it?
Yes.
Urs.
Yeah.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Very good.
Oh, there you go. I think that deserves a round of applause.
Okay, thank you.
That's not bad going, is it? Listen, congratulations on everything that's happened to you in the last year. It is remarkable and unbelievable. Something like 5 million copies around the world you've sold. You've toured, you're gonna tour, you've got this second album. And how has it been for you, one by one? How has the last year been?
Well, it's been extremely busy. I mean, just from the first week when it released in UK and it went to #1, it's been catching on like wildfire ever since. And we were going around the world, going country by country, hoping to do the same thing, and it was doing the same thing. And now this year, we're releasing simultaneously around the world, and so it's like we have to be everywhere at once. Everything's all condensed into the span of a week. It feels like the whole world.
Have you changed?
I hope not. I've been told actually by people that I haven't. I just met a friend in Amsterdam 2 days ago, and it's been 2.5 years I've seen her for the last time. And that's one of the first things she said actually, you haven't changed. And I think thank you very much, because I really, we hear that a lot with all the success we have, and like other bands or other people, who get kind of thrown into this business and they get huge within a year, and it just goes to their head. And I hope we're gonna keep our feet on the ground.
Carlos, what's been the best bit for you?
The best bit was, seeing how many...
Sorry, mate, can you turn it... Sorry, it's the wrong way, actually. Can you point it towards you? The actual microphone. There you go. That
Okay.
It's one of those directional...
All right.
So what's been the best bit for you?
The best bit was, meeting so many fans and seeing, how big was all the acceptation of the people everywhere, around the globe. So it was amazing.
Now, the last time I spoke to you, Sebastian, you were all kind of a bit nervous because you hadn't got any success at that point. You hadn't sold a single record. It was before the launch of the first CD. And I said to you, this is going to be a hit because of the production values in it. I mean, has that been the thing that's been commented on around the world, that it is so well made and the sound is just so perfect?
Oh, thank you very much for that. But I think we haven't changed. I was still very nervous for the second album now for Ancora. You never know what's going to happen, if people is going to like it or not, or get fed up with you. So we're trying to give, the best out of ourselves, and hope that the people is going to like it again and again.
Now, David, the first time I saw you was on Broadway. I don't know if you remember, I saw you in the play La Bohème.
In the La Bohème, yeah.
And even in those days, there was something special about you. And I said about the first time I met you that the voice was just so brilliant. But to put 4 voices together and to make one voice, which effectively you've done with this group, is so remarkable. Has there been any temptation for one of you to want to be louder or be more important than the others?
Well, it's been a pretty democratic process, really. I mean, because there is no lead singer, and no one wants to feel like a backing singer, because, I mean, it's just 4 guys from solo careers. It would just be so detrimental, I think, to someone's ego to feel like that. So we do a very good job to make sure that the balance is maintained, that everyone gets a part of each song to kind of shine just for a couple of seconds, because once the harmonies start coming in and you start building it towards that chorus where everyone sounds together, and it's a delicate balance, but I think we do it pretty well. I think we balance it pretty well.
It's very interesting when I first interviewed you, because I came out of it and it was syndicated across the country, and I had a load of emails about it saying, aren't they great Italian guys? And in fact, you're not. I mean, we've got David, who's from America, of course. We've got Carlos from Spain, Sebastian from France, and Urs from Switzerland. So the perception that you're Italian actually is not true at all, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, it was, I think, the idea first, because the inspiration kind of were people like Andrea Bocelli and the 3 tenors. Well, 2 of the 3 tenors are Spanish, actually, or Argentinian even.
No, Spanish. I'm sorry.
Spanish. But it is kind of, because there is that hint to the opera and the classical voices and everything, and you think like of Southern Europe when you do that. But well, in our case, Simon Cowell had to look through 17 countries and just found us, and our nationalities are just a coincidence, actually.
Carlos?
Yeah?
You know my auntie Linda, she thinks you're a nice bit of trouser.
A trouser? What does it mean?
Well, how can I explain this diplomatically?
Yeah, well, say it in the rude way.
Well...
say it in the dirty way.
Okay, she'd like to give you a portion.
Wow, a portion of what?
Well,
You must be very clear because I'm Spanish. I don't understand English.
now, what is it about your smile that the ladies seem to like?
Must be my teeth. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Must be the soul that I have inside, and then I'm a lover. Hello, girls. No, that's it. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know.
One by one, I want to go down the line. I think you said you got a girlfriend last time, David.
Yes.
Have you still got a girlfriend?
Still do. Very happy.
Are you insane?
Must be.
I mean, the ladies you could have now, I mean, you're an international star. The opportunities must be infinite.
Well, it's just one of those things. When you find something that your heart really connects to, you got to stick with it.
That's beautiful.
It's pathetic.
It is.
I mean, has there been temptation for all? I mean, you're so popular, and the ladies just love you. You're not. I mean, there's none of you in the band that look like me for a start, are there? I mean, come on, Sebastian. You must have had a lot of interest from the ladies.
That's very true. But I liked it. I mean, I'm single, so I'm still looking for the red flower.
Now we're talking. So, I mean, what has the reaction been like in your own country? Is it different to what it is here to what it is in America?
It is very different. Everywhere in the world where we've been, singing and doing promotion with this album, it's been fantastic to meet all these different cultures. And it's very different. All the women are have a different reaction.
So how have you coped with the international thing? Because really, you're kind of spreading yourself thin. When you're a star in Britain and you're English, you kind of like being here because it's home, but you're not home when you're here. Have you found that difficult? How have you settled in?
I left my home country about 10 years ago, and then I live in Amsterdam for about 80 years, and I've been living in France or nowhere or everywhere for the last 2-3 years. So I don't really have a home feeling anymore, so for me this traveling around the world is very exciting. It's just a big adventure, and wherever you go, it's maybe also because of the show we do, but wherever you go you meet nice people, you get in contact with people and you have a good time, and it's just great. It's fabulous.
Okay, we're going to take a piece of music, then we'll be back with David, Urs, Carlos and Sebastian from Il Divo. I think they're fantastic. Last year I thought you were fantastic, and you're proving your success by being on every single TV show around the world. They all want to get you on. I've got to ask though, Carlos, what is the best song on this new album?
The best song, well, we have several good songs, but I think one of the best, one of the most beautiful maybe is a duet with Celine Dion, I Believe in You. So yeah, he was very funny. Well, not to record with her because obviously we couldn't, because we had our schedule very, very busy. She recorded her part in Montreal, we record our part in Sweden, and we only met her. It was one month ago in Paris that we sung together the song. So it was an amazing experience.
Have you seen her show in Vegas?
No, not personally. No.
I got to see it this summer, and maybe it's because I'm a guy. But it didn't do it for me because she's so gushing and over the top. But that's kind of her act, isn't it? And it's perfect for the kind of music you sing because it's so romantic and so powerful.
Well, I mean, you need to have a certain amount of showmanship, when you're up there and it's all about you. It's not like when you're doing a musical or when you're doing an opera and you've got many different elements that are combined, costumes, sets, orchestra, all these things. When it's just you kind of have to sell yourself, and I think that's what she really does very well. When we were performing with her in France, you could just tell that this is just where she feels at home. It's her element, and she's so expressive.
It was funny because watching her, she got a 7-minute standing ovation at the end, and she cried 3 times during the performance. And I thought, I would for £400,000 a show. I think I could cry for that. Sebastian, just very briefly at the moment. I mean, you're from Paris, aren't you?
Yeah.
The stuff that's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, is it anywhere near where you lived?
It is, yeah. It's quite close. The 17th is quite close to where I live. It's it worries me, but it's very amplified, I have to say, by the media. Because when I phoned my family, they said, well, it's bad, but it's not as bad as what people are expecting. Because I have my best friend who lives in Italy, and he told me yesterday they had a special about Paris, about what's going on, and it's not so bad. But let's hope it's not going to get worse.
I've got to ask you the question that I always have to ask bands, because so many split up and go their own ways and fall out. One by one, David, are you still happy together? Are you enjoying performing together?
Well, geez, we just started. I mean, we've only been doing this for a year and a half.
Yeah, but this is like a life in politics for bands, isn't it? I mean, normally within 6 months they've had 2 fights, nicked each other's girlfriends, become gay, and then moved on. I mean,
you're not talking about us.
No, I wouldn't dream of it. You're far too manly.
No, I mean, it's the thing is that over the year and a half, we've spent like 16 hours a day, almost 7 days a week for however many months. You really get to know each other very well. You become like a family, and like any family, you have your disagreements or your arguments or your almost knockdown brawls, but you get over it. You have to work past that. You have to, we see each other like a family, and that's more important than anything else.
So how much pressure are you actually under? Because this, we haven't mentioned so far, is a Simon Cowell creation. We didn't talk about that because I don't think you need to now. You don't need to sell it on that, because that's really how I was billing it last year, that you're this new band up against G4. You've proved all of that to be irrelevant. The music stands for itself. But what pressure are you under to be fantastic every time you perform?
That's the pressure we put on ourselves, because we are all musicians, and we've been so for the last 15 or 25 years, and we just take very much pride in doing everything we do as good as we possibly can, and really give it 150% every time we perform, even when we do interviews, for everything we do. I think that's also the focus point, and that's why we don't feel like pressure from the record company or pressure from the public that we have to do something for them. We do it for us, We want to do it good, and not because somebody else tells us it has to be good.
The American market's the interesting one, because that's the one that they all go, oh, you have to crack America to be successful, which I think is absolute nonsense. But you have been successful over there, Carlos. I mean, did that mean something to you?
Absolutely, yes. I remember when we released the album in America and we were number 4. Well, it was really unbelievable, because watching the charts and seeing that 50 Cent was behind us. It was like, my God, what's that? And now, we hope we just released a Christmas special collection from us. In US, we hope that it's gonna go all right, and we're gonna be maybe number 1. We hope so. We pray every night, to our special. Virgin?
Virgins?
Yeah.
You pray to a virgin?
Yeah, we pray to all the virgins around the world. To knock in my door. To knock in my door and say, come to my room. This is what I
do. Now we're getting somewhere. I mean, what was the biggest moment for you in terms of the last year? Again, down the line. I mean, was there a moment when you got on a TV show? I mean, of course, being interviewed by me must be a thrill and an honour. But I mean, don't laugh, Sebastian. Slightly insulting.
No.
But I mean, what has been the moment that you thought, my God, I've actually made it?
I don't know. There's so many moments where you feel that everything keeps, being a surprise for us, and every time it's like a fantastic news that's coming through our ears. So so far, there's so many. I can't give you one like this. There's too many good moments. I think probably the fact that everything has started here in UK, and when we heard that we were number 1 and knocked off Robbie Williams from the top, I couldn't just believe it. So I think that was one of the best moments, but there's so many.
Why do you think you've been so popular?
I think it's the fact that people, had lots of reality TV shows and all that, and they want to hear more about voices. We had a very huge backgrounds before in our career, so I think people just really love that, the fact that we're all professional and we've been working, separately in different things before, and that we put that together into Divo. So I guess people really likes the fact that we are experienced.
I'll tell you what it is for me, Carlos, as well. It's your stage presence, the fact that you come on and you know what you're doing, you can do it without question, but you've got something about you. I don't know what that is. I mean, they talk about X Factor. I suppose that's it, that you just watch and you know that there's 100% professionalism, which is so rare.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, this is what Seb says. That we had a lot of experience, to be on stage, to make operas, to sing, musical theater and whatever. Yes, and when you bring all this experience together, and when you are on stage, with 4 professional guys like we are, and then you can feel this professionalism on stage, and it's like, I think that's the magic.
Wrong button. What's been your favourite bit then so far?
Being in the band, you mean? Favorite bit? It's what I feel. It's unbelievable when we didn't we started with a live tour. I mean, with a really big show. But when we did the Hanley show, it was such an unbelievable climate?
Climax?
Yeah, climax.
Hang on, we've
So-
got
that word.
Hang on, we've got virgins and climax in the same
It was
sentence.
such an unbelievable climax with all the girls. No. It was fantastic. I mean, when we are on stage, we are like, as I always say, that we are stage tigers because we are here just we cannot wait to perform live and to be on stage because the feeling that we have and the interaction between all four, it's unbelievable.
I'm going to make a note of that. Tigers, virgins, and climax in the same sentence.
That's the.
I think I broke a record.
This is Carlos.
What's been the best bit for you?
Well, to come back to your question before, I don't think we've made it. I think once.
Come on, 5 million
listen.
records.
I think a group has made it when you become a household name, and if you go out, that's something that surprised me all the time, because we have sold almost 5 million records, and if you ask anyone in the street, do you know El Divo, I never get a yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that is true. So I say you should,
think
you
it's the
should
people
go
you're
and
talking
buy the
to.
record and listen to it, because you're gonna like it. But I mean, for me, the best thing about all that is when I actually see reactions on our website from the fans, and there are such a lot of fans we have, and there's about 60,000 who are registered on there, and a lot of them really write you personal messages, and they're so warm, they're so touching, they're really so personal and concerned, and that is a point where I think, yeah, we're doing a good thing,
David, what's been the biggest thing and best thing for you so far?
That is a very tough question because, I mean, from the beginning, when, like Sebastian said, we're number one straight first week, and it just from there, we went on to make some videos. We've been around the world. We've seen the same thing happen in so many different countries. We've been on amazing TV shows. We when we were in Japan, we were giving a small showcase there, and they played a montage of all of the different TV shows that we had been on, and we saw one right after the next. Wow, we did that. Wow, we did that. Wow, we did that. And it just stuns me into silence. They always say that I'm the talkative one, but at that moment, I just stood there with my jaw open going,
It's like a cow.
I thought one of you was having a seizure for a moment. Guys, it's been a real pleasure seeing you again. Thank you so much for coming in. It's always a pleasure. And good luck with this new album. You don't need it. It's called Encore. It's by El Divo. And David, Carlos and Sebastian are the guys that make it happen. And congratulations on your success so far, because it's come from nowhere. You've been given nothing, and purely on the talent, on the CDs, you've made a huge success for it around the world.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.